Hello, welcome back to LIVENODING. Today we're going to be doing something quite simple. Basically, we'll be using one of Fairtalk nodes. It's called MultiExtrude. So I've done this in the past. So what this guy does basically is doing some kind of random extruding, including like multiple extrusion and then also rotation, scale, and offset. And it is really powerful. If I try it with a plane, for example, and oops, let me save it as SV multi-random extrude. If I plug this plane into the face and let's give it these fewer nodes to see the output. So it doesn't work right away, you might notice. So you need to give some kind of a face mask, and this face mask actually accept some kind of index of polygon. So index of polygon face. So if you give it like, so I have this 4x4 plane grid, it's gonna do this random extrusion, and it is actually based on this number. So range, let me look, use a stethoscope, and here I have 0, 1, 2, 3. So it's gonna be using that index number, index value for our extrusion. And this extrusion is pretty powerful. It's hard to describe. If you start to play around with this, you get all kind of interesting result. And of course, you have also this repeat. And if I'm not wrong, okay, so you can use turn on this polygon coordinates. It's gonna be using the local coordinates. So this is pretty fun, pretty cool, but you might notice if we are using this range of number, it's pretty boring, right? Because it's just gonna extrude based on the each and every polygon face one by one in order. So we don't want that. Let me give you a quick way to do some kind of shuffling of number. So let's say we get the total number of the polygon first of all, and from the total number of polygon we plug this into the count. So this will always be using the total number of polygon. So now if with this number, if we use shuffle, list shuffle, it's gonna be doing shuffling of number. Like if you have cards, you shuffle it until it's totally random, and the number never repeat. That's really important. And then you use a list, not split, but list slice. So we can slice the data. This give none, okay, needs to be level 1 or level 2. Oh, level 0, okay. And then use an integer number, plug this into the stop. Oh, actually this should be level, yeah, should be level 1, okay. So this kind of cutting, like if you have like a cards, once again you shuffle the cards and you slice it like a 10 card or somewhere in the middle. It's almost like a magic trick. Now we have this number, we simply plug it into the face mask, and it doesn't seem to be seems like it's not really doing. Oh, okay, this one goes into the face mask, sorry. All right, now we have a way to kind of shuffle the extrusion. So it's randomly pick the face index, and also it never repeat and it goes into the face mask. So now we can do a little bit something a little bit fun. Okay, let's do crazy thing like, okay, we don't need to move the lock, but we can rotate it with this, scale it, and then add some kind of offset rotation and scale noise also. So this suddenly we have a way to create this kind of weird structure. And this will always work regardless. So let me add some kind of shades. Okay, cool. On top of this, we can also maybe randomize the plane and do whatever. Instead of a plane, we can also use other. We can also use a different one, like other primitives. So let's hold shift and then drag. So we have that. And then let's plug in this box. Plug in the box and the polygon, vertices and polygon. Now we have a single box shape. I will be adding subdivision. All right. And yeah, we can continue on doing this weird thing. Let's leave it, keep it simple, you know, not too crazy with the box. 4x4x4. And we can control the number of polygon face that we want to use. Sometimes it's a good idea, instead of using integer, we can use a number. Just plug into this guy. And this number we can have minimum and maximum range. So this to avoid any kind of number that's too big or under this the limit of the value. So we can randomize the seed. Currently, this multi-extrude alt nodes doesn't have slots here, but you can change that yourself. This is basically based on an add-on, but I forgot what's the name of the developer, but Zefi converted into the nodes. So this node has a lot of potential. If you don't want like too crazy rotations, you can turn this off, I think. So it's less crazy. You have this really interesting result. It's almost like a floating kind of building, very futuristic. Imagine if you give like a windows on each one of these and gives like a wiring. I actually, it was on the Twitter the other day, as someone have like a Cinema 4D add-on that allows you to create something like this. Okay, if you want to do something more, so this is fine, everything works properly, but you can also do this multiple times. Select all this, duplicate it, and chaining this guy. So we need a polygon data goes in there. And then this goes in there. This is the face that we're gonna extrude. And as a final result, that's what we get. Something that's a little bit more random also. If you want it to be a little bit more clever, maybe the next extrusion should be less. So it's kind of like a tree. So it will be better. This is the first extrusion. Would be better if the next extrusion only happens from the parts that's already being extruded, instead of starting from the base. So this way you can have like a kind of like a 3 branches, but that's totally up to you how you're gonna set it up. For now, just keep it simple. This is what we get. You can do it multiple times, like I said. Maybe for the second time, we kind of make it smaller with the scale. It can be more random with the rotations. Probability actually maybe less. Yeah, I think that's not too bad. That's the seed. That's the number of extrusion that could happen. Randomize the seed, and again, if you're done with this, bake it out, and you have some interesting looking structure. Okay, that's pretty ugly, that one, but it's not bad. Maybe you can add bevel and I don't know, maybe print it out or turn it into USDZ. But anyhow, that's a fun exploration of this multi-extrude. Once again, I haven't used this much. There isn't much. I mean, with the variations, of course, you can get a lot of result, like extrusion, random extrusion. But let's see, you can do a lot more if you actually dig down into the nodes and then made changes yourself as a script node. I guess I need to do that. So there you go. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.